Have you ever just sat there staring at an edit for hours on end, wondering if there was more that could be done to enhance it? I've often found myself in that exact situation, and at times it can feel really frustrating. I find that one of the most useful strategies for pulling me out of these creative blocks is going on YouTube and watching new music videos and creative edits that have recently come out. Learning from other editors is one of the most beneficial things all of us creatives can do to expand our skills and our imaginations. If you're excited to learn some of my favorite editing techniques for high quality videos, make sure to hit the like button down below and let's dive in. Let's make a quick lyric pop-up effect from scratch. We have a section from the hook here where he says they know it. Let's just add some lyric pop-ups to that section. So let's find out where these lyrics start. You hear that right there, they know it right there. Be like right around there. And then it ends right around here. So they know it. You know this section is going to be where the lyrics pop up. Hit C on my keyboard and we're going to cut this clip in the area where he says they know it. Is hold Option and duplicate it. This is something I've started doing just before I take clips into After Effects because I want to keep the raw clips still available in Premiere in case I want to go back and change things later on. So what I'm going to do with this new clip that we just made, hit replace with After Effects composition. What I'm going to do is just come down to my layer panel in After Effects and we're going to create 3 text layers. This one's going to say they. So let's just get they. See right there in the middle, increase the scale of letters. You can see that the center point of our text is kind of hanging out below where it actually should be. So in order to fix this, all you got to do is come up to your center point, pan behind anchor point tool. You're going to hold Command and you're just going to double click on that button, and that's going to move your center point exactly where the middle of your text layer is. So from here, in order to make sure that this is right in the middle of our composition, nice and centered, I'm going to click on Align. Make sure that it says Align Layers to Composition and just center it up, clicking those buttons. So now I can be assured that each lyric pop-up is going to be right in the middle of our screen. It's going to look nice. Next, I'm going to hit Command D on my layer to duplicate it, and I'm going to type the next lyric. I'm going to do the same thing. They know it right there. Perfect. So we have 3 layers, 3 text layers now. They know it. So this is going to go like they for the first maybe 3 or 4 frames, and then no on like the 5th frame, and then it on like the 10th frame. So in order to shorten these up, I can just go to where cut is for each layer and hit Command Shift D, and then that's just gonna trim our layers right there. Boom, perfect. To make sure that this is on the timing of the lyrics, I can just switch on the volume for our music video and then we can listen to it. Now we can turn our background layer on. Now it's about to get super fire because I'm gonna show you guys how to make these lyric pop-ups look way cooler. Shift click on all your lyric layers and we're going to right click pre-compose. I'm going to put them all in their own layer. Now I'm going to use the CinePack Fire Effects pack, which you can find in the description down below. I'm going to take one of these embers from this pack and drag it into my sequence here, and I'm gonna put it below my lyric layer right there. And we can also shrink this down a little bit, holding shift and dragging the edge in. Drag this ember layer until this fire really starts to show through here, because what's gonna happen is I want this fire to kind of start coming through the letters of the lyrics. Click on our embers layer, track matte option, and if you don't see the track matte option, just toggle your switches and modes, and we're going to change the track matte to our lyric layers. Now you can see we have the fire kind of coming through our lyrics and it just looks more interesting this way. And we're also going to add a few more effects. So I recommend adding some deep glow, and we're going to add that to our lyric layer. We'll decrease the exposure a little bit, get it nice, crispy. Type in wiggle under our effects and presets and drag and drop the wiggle position onto our pre-comp layer. Let's actually turn this up and really emphasize the wiggle so you can see what the wiggle position does. So this just keeps the text animated on screen. One thing I love to do when adding lyrics to music videos is pre-compose all my layers after I've made lyric pop-ups, and then we can animate the position and rotation of all of this as one scene. Start at the first frame. I'm going to drop down the arrow, drop down my transform values, and we're going to keyframe position, scale, and rotation. I'm going to come to like the very end, and we're just going to scale in a little bit, and we're also going to rotate, scale it up a little bit too. Don't clip anything on the edges, and we can move that to the end. So now we get this effect where the lyrics are rotating with the scene. It almost looks like the lyrics are a part of the scene. I'm going to turn motion blur on, just adds a little blur, and I have the Sapphire suite that has Sapphire flicker, and I can drag that onto my pre-comp, change the amplitude. That down a little bit, take random frequency down to 20, and that's just gonna flicker our scene a little bit. It's just gonna make it a little bit more eye-catchy. What I'm gonna do from here is hit Command Save. We're going to just render this out of After Effects so that it's easier for Premiere to render it while we're editing. I'm just gonna render this out to my desktop, say Lyric, hop up, hit Save, and then hit Render. Once that's finished, hop back here in Premiere Pro, navigate to the desktop, and we're going to click and drag the Lyric pop-up. When Premiere is just relying on the dynamic link, you get this red bar. It takes longer for Premiere to render the dynamic link. That's why I like to render my clips that I use a lot of effects on in After Effects back to Premiere Pro instead of relying on the dynamic link, because watch this, when I turn this layer back on, it's only yellow here, right? So it's gonna be a lot quicker for Premiere to render this layer with all these effects on it if you just export it out of After Effects when you're done editing it. It's also easier to continue adding more effects on top of these effects in Premiere Pro.
Ain't no handouts and they know it. Send my young niggas and they know it. Got this. Ain't no handouts and they know it. Send my young niggas and they know it. Got this.
For this next effect, I'll be showing you guys a super dope plugin called CRT Emulator. I've mentioned this plugin before in some of my other tutorials, and I honestly love what it does. I use it to give my videos a glitchy, distorted feel and style, and you can also use this plugin on text and graphics as well. I use this CRT emulator to kind of shake things up and keep the energy going throughout the music video, because a lot of these shots are tripod shots, so it was really important for me to kind of add that movement back in with the beat. So let's check on what this sequence looks like with the CRT effect, and then we'll make it from scratch.
That's a given, stack it to the ceiling, push it to the limit, it's a wonderful feeling.
Farther down my timeline, I just have a duplicated sequence without the CRT effect on it. So let's go ahead and find out where that kick drum's hitting. We have a big spike in our audio. If I increase the size of this layer here, you can see this is where the kick drum is. Cut our clip right on that kick drum, and let's find out where the next kick drum is. Right there, so right about there. So we just wanted to highlight that one kind of kick drum to the next. What I'm going to do from here is just hold Option, drag this layer up, video layer 2, and we're going to right click and replace with After Effects composition. So once I have my clip in After Effects, all I got to do is select layer, come up to Window, Extensions, and hit CRT Emulator, and this is going to pull up the plugin. This is a really cool looking plugin. See, it gives you kind of a preview of what all the different looks you can get are out of it, and you can customize it even further. I'll show you guys. One of my favorite presets is this Style 11. We're gonna click on that, apply effect, and now you can see the effect that it's having on our clip. So it just kind of makes it look distorted and like it's like being viewed on an old CRT TV. So what we're gonna do is change our grid pattern to rectangle, take the exposure down just a little bit, and then what we're gonna do is bump up the glow quite a bit here on the bottom, right? And that's just gonna give us this kind of soft glow across our entire clip. Turn up the vibrance a little bit, increase sharpness. The noise is okay. I don't like to dirty it up too much. And then the last thing I love about this plugin is this glitch button right here. So if you click on the glitch button, it kind of warps out the video clip a little bit. Hit Command S to save this. Come up here to Composition, add to render queue, and let's render this to our desktop. I hopped back here into Premiere Pro and I navigated desktop. I can click and drag that clip we just rendered of After Effects into my Adobe Premiere timeline. And now as I scroll through, you can really see the effect happening there. So really cool plugin. I absolutely love the CRT emulator.
That's a given, stack it to the ceiling, push it to the limit, it's a wonderful feeling. That's a given, stack it to the ceiling, push it to the limit, it's a wonderful feeling.
This next technique is so dope. I love putting it on my videos, and I think it's a great way to make your videos look a little bit more interesting, and that is by using glow. Now there's a lot of different ways to make glow effects on your videos. You're gonna need the Boris effects suite with film glow, and you're gonna click and drag it onto your clip. And you can see right away, it's going to change some things in the background of this clip, especially in the brighter areas. So let's take the glow intensity down to maybe 20, and boom, it kind of blends that area together a little bit more. Change the glow radius, take it up 50, smooths it out even more. You can change the glow color. Let's make the glow red, see what that does. Boom, so you kind of get this red tint in the glow. It's kind of cool. And then what we can do is just copy and paste this film glow on other areas where we think it might be cool. So like this one right here with this interesting shot, let's add some glow to it. So I'm gonna hit Command V to paste this film glow onto this shot. And you can see now we're getting kind of some red misty areas there in the highlights. Now let's change this back, let's go back to white shot. a white glow. And then let's take the glow intensity back up to like a 50. So you can see it just kind of adds some haziness around those blown out areas. We can increase contrast of this shot to make it look a bit better. So this is going to be with the glow, and now this is without the glow. So you can see what a difference that makes in our footage in terms of making it look a little bit more dreamy, a little bit more flowy. So I do love the Boris FX Film Glow. Right click on this clip here and replace it with our After Effects composition. Bring this clip here into After Effects. Under my effects and presets, I'm going to type in Deep Glow and just click and drag that. You can see it's really bright right away. So let's take the radius down to maybe 200 and let's change the exposure. Instead of a 1, click and drag this down till it's not as bright. And then we can change the blend mode, right? So we can get different types of glow looks from this Deep Glow plugin. Now, the cool thing about this Deep Glow plugin is you can change things like chromatic aberration. You can turn that on, and that's just going to kind of give our colors a little bit more of a split effect. Let's turn it up all the way just so you can see really what it looks like. It looks really trippy. Chromatic aberration is, it's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun effect to play around with, and it's cool that they added that to this Deep Glow plugin. I think Film Glow is a little bit more subtle, and Deep Glow is a little bit more obvious. So it just really depends on the emotion that you want your scene to have. So Deep Glow and Film Glow, I use them both about the same amount, just depends how I'm feeling. So I got this music video pulled up on my timeline here in Premiere Pro. This music video is called No Tolerance by an artist named P&E Castro, shot by Phantom, who also shoots Steezy's music videos. And we're just gonna add some hard-hitting impacts to this song. Now this beat is a little bit more hardcore, trapped out. It's got a lot of that kick drum, those snares, those hi-hats. So it's a perfect type of fast cut song, fast beat to add shakes and impacts to. So let's go ahead and check it out because there's not that much shake or impacts on this edit yet.
We can get them by the 1,000, we can sell them all. I'm in different states trying to lock in with a boss. I be selling everything, but I ain't selling all. When you worrying about a bitch, man, you gon' take a fall. The rush is what I fell in love with, I can sell whatever. 30,000 just to play with, we can change the weather.
After this 3D zoom through, there needs to be some kind of impact because it hits with the kick drum. Now let's check out where that kick drum is hitting. Let's find out where that hit.
But I ain't selling all.
It's right there, you hear it. Right there, boom. So right as soon as this transition ends, cut it where the shake is going to start. Right click on it and hit replace with After Effects composition. Back in After Effects, all I'm gonna do is click on this layer, come up to Window Extensions and click on Shake Sauce. So Shake Sauce was created by another YouTuber named Brian Delamata. I use it in most of my tutorials and my personal edits now just because it's so useful for just kind of saucing up your video. So what we're gonna do is find a shake preset that's going to hit with the video. So let's try this one, horizontal mega with flash, and you can see the preview of it there at the top. And if I just click on this preset and then close out of the plugin, now we can see the impact it has on this clip. So right there in the beginning, you get this kind of boom, that little shake right there. Now this might not be as powerful as I want it. So what I can do is just hit Command Z. That's gonna undo that shake effect. Come back up here to Window, come back down to Shake Sauce, and let's just pick another one. Let's try keyframed. That one's kind of dope. Let's do quick hit with flash. So I'm gonna click on this preset. So now as I play it back, boom, we get that little shake impact right there. Now if I click on this layer and hit U on my keyboard, I can actually see the keyframes for this preset and go about editing it how I want to. If I want to change values, for example, we can change the brightness value here. For the flash, we can make it even more bright than it already is. This is pretty bright here. We can also change position, amplitude, which is going to increase the amount of shake. And then we can change the rotate as well. And that's just going to change how much it rotates as it's shaking. So this plugin, Shake Sauce, is a really great way to just kind of get started on creating your own shake impact for your videos. So you can see right there, we get something a little different that time because I did a little customization on our preset. So what I'm going to do from here is just hit Command S, back up here to composition, add to render queue, and we're going to just go ahead and drag this back into Premiere Pro. Back in Premiere Pro, I'm going to drag my dynamic link layer down one layer, and I'm going to navigate to my desktop and click and drag the new rendered clip above my dynamic layer. So that should render become yellow here, as we'll see in a second. Boom. So you can see it turned yellow, which means Premiere is going to have an easier time rendering. So now I'm going to navigate to the left a little bit and hit I on my keyboard, navigate to the right of this effect that we just created and hit O, sequence render into out. That way we can watch back at full speed.
And everything, but I ain't selling all. When you worrying about a bitch, man, you gon' take a fall. The rush is what I fell in love with.
This next editing technique is one of my favorites to use, and it's adding this zoom rotation to my clip. You can add this effect to any clip, no matter how zoomed in or zoomed out you filmed your shot. And I'm going to show you how to do that without clipping the sides of your clip when applying keyframes. And yeah, let's dive in. So what we're going to do is just add some motion to this clip. So I'm going to duplicate this clip by hitting Option and dragging it up one layer. I'm going to right click it and hit replace with After Effects composition. Here in After Effects, I'm going to click on my layer. I'm going to drop down this arrow here on the left, open up my transform properties, and we're going to make keyframes for position, scale, rotation. Now, I think I want this clip to be rotating left to right. So what we're going to do is keyframe the last value for this clip. So let's go ahead and rotate it a little bit here. And then let's also scale it in a little bit. It doesn't have to be crazy, just a little. And I'm going to leave the position how it is. And I'm going to drag these keyframes all the way to the very end. Now here in the beginning, change things back. So let's take the scale and let's actually take scale down to a value like 90. Now what we're also going to do here on this very first frame is take the rotation value down, say -11. So it starts on the left side. And now as I begin to scroll through my timeline, you can see our clip starts to rotate and zoom in to the right. Now this would be cool, except for the fact that we have all these edges around our subject. So what I'm going to do is come up to my effects and I'm going to type in an effect called motion tile, and you'll find it under stylize in After Effects. I'm going to click and drag this onto my layer, increase the output width and the output height. Now you can see that fills in the borders around our clip. And from here, what you can do to blend this even further is select mirror edges. And this is basically going to copy the background of what's closest to the edge. So now it's almost looking like it's one cohesive scene, right? You can hardly even notice, these fake edges around the corners because we applied these mirror edges effect. So turn the motion blur on, and I'm going to render this on my desktop. Back in Premiere, I'm going to navigate to desktop, drag in that clip we just rendered out of After Effects, and we can watch it now in Premiere. So I'll show you guys a little before and after with this rotating effect.
You say you care about honestly, I never felt the love. You say you got him for the 20 cause I brought a dub. You say you care about honestly, I never felt the love. You say you got him for the 20 cause I brought a dub.
Apply RSMB onto this clip in Premiere. So let's just throw this on clip. Pay attention to like this area right here where there's going to be a lot of motion. So let's go ahead and take the blur amount. Let's put this up quite a bit. Let's put it up to like 4 and then a 90. So boom, just like that, you can see how dramatic of a blur it just added to our footage, right? Now this is probably too much. We need to take it down a little bit. So let's take our motion sensitivity down, take this down to like a 50, and then let's take the blur amount down to like a 1.5. In my personal preference, I do like adding real smart motion blur to any clip that has a little added movement involved. The last thing I want to talk about today is overlays. So on VenderVisuals.com, I have a bunch of editing packs on here. These full packs, they have anywhere from 30 to 50 overlays included in them. But if you're not looking to spend any money, you can come up here to the free pack section of my website. And on this page, you can just scroll down here, type in your email address and hit submit. And once you hit the submit button, that's going to take you to this folder. Download this folder from the website and it's going to download. When it downloads to your computer, all you have to do is navigate to your downloads folder, double click zip file, and this is going to open up my free pack. As soon as it's done unzipping this folder, we can click right into it, and it's going to have stuff from pretty much every pack on my website, as well as some links to the full packs and a discount. You can click into these folders. So for example, this one, texture overlays, has a couple free overlays in it. So let's just preview one of these overlays. This one's really cool. This one's a glitch overlay I made. So boom, I like using this a lot on my videos. It's one of my favorite overlays. And then if we click back in here, we can also look at blueprints. Blueprints pack has some overlays as well. So if you're interested in any of this stuff, go check out my website, links down below, and go ahead and navigate to the free pack page. So let's actually take one of these glitches from the texture overlays and let's drag it onto our timeline. In my video, you can see now just black in the background, and we want it over top of our video footage, right? So what I'm going to do is select the overlay, come up here to blend mode and change it to screen. And now you can see as I scroll over it, we have this glitch overlay happening. Now this is one way to do it. It's probably the easiest easiest way to use overlays, just changing the blend mode to screen and putting it on a video layer above your footage. But what I like to do is add these overlays to transitions. So what I'm talking about is like right here, we have a glitch preset transition from my glitch pack, which is also on my website. And you can see the transition it gives us right there, right? So it's really cool looking already. But if we add this overlay to it, right? So let's just click and drag this overlay right on top of this transition. Now that I have the glitch overlay on top of the glitch transition preset, I'm going to render this little section of my timeline.
Spent my 1,000 on my wrist, but you can see the diamonds. Like the other song I made, but just ship phone. Spent my 1,000 on my wrist, but you can see the diamonds. Like the other song I made.
Feels great to be back making more videos for the channel. Thank you guys for sticking with me, and to all the new people who have subscribed to my channel and haven't seen new videos from me yet, welcome. It's great to have everybody here. One of the most important things to me has been collaborating with you guys out in the audience. I mean, we wouldn't have videos like today's tutorial without some of you guys out in the audience sending me footage and wanting to collaborate with me. So I really appreciate everybody who tunes into the channel, watches the videos, and supports the video editing movement as a whole. So thank you guys so much. If you guys are interested in downloading the free pack, make sure to check out the links down below this video and get yourself some free overlays, some transition presets, some title templates, and more. I really appreciate everybody who's come and tuned in today. It's great to be back. I'll see you guys next time. I'm Jake Benner. Peace out.